What's up, everyone? Today, let's talk about that one thing, that one item that you have to buy if you're a boys lacrosse player in 2022. But first of all, this is our first video of 2022, so let's go. Round of applause. 2022, we're excited you're here. With the turn of a brand new calendar year means lacrosse season is just around the corner. Yeah, that's right. It is almost here. And one of the things we have to do, we got to make sure our gear is in spec. We got to make sure it's good for the season. That's one of the questions that coaches are asked before every game, is that you certify that your players are properly equipped for that game. One of the big changes that comes in 2022 is all players on the field, not just goalies. Last year the rule changed for goalies, but this year all field players in the boys lacrosse game need to have a new chest protector. Specifically, they need to have a chest protector that is designed for the NOCSAE ND200 standard. I got that right? Yeah, NOCSAE ND. Why do we call it NOCSAE? It should be NOCSAE. NOCSAE? It's French. It's not French. I don't know what it stands for. NOCSAE for the ND200 standard. Specifically, we're targeting the chest. And more specifically, we're targeting Commotio Cordis. Commotio Cordis. That's really hard to say. I'm going to put it right here. You say it. Commotio Cordis, I think is what it's called. But Commotio Cordis is a very dangerous problem that could potentially arise in lacrosse, and unfortunately we saw it happen just last year at Loyola-Blakefield. Fortunately, the gentleman was fine down there because the team was fantastic. Kudos to them. I'll put the story to it down below. But basically what can happen is you can get struck by the ball, and this could happen in lacrosse, could happen in baseball, probably could happen in other sports. If you get hit at a certain point in your heart's rhythm, if you get hit in the chest at that specific time, that very small amount of time, you get hit that very specific amount of time, it literally can cause the heart to stop. Now, there's a lot more to it. I'm not a technical doctor here. I'm just a guy that read some articles online. Thank you. Yeah, so it basically will cause the heart to stop, and it is not a good thing. So kudos to those and the powers that be. They got together and they started working on updating the shoulder pads, which now they're kind of almost more of a chest protector. I do not have the brand new ones, but there is a brand new standard, this NOCSAE ND200 standard, which you will now see brand new chest pads, and you'll see some with a big hard plate in the front, or maybe you'll see them, they'll embed the plate in the back. There's a lot of different ways they went about doing it, the manufacturers went about doing it, but basically what they have to do is they have to conform their product to the standard, whether it's the front plate, the back plate. Basically what it is, and I went into a little bit of the technical details, so if you don't want the technical details, just skip along this video. But the technical details is more or less this. My cheat sheet. They shoot a projectile, so most likely a lacrosse ball. They shoot a lacrosse ball 30 miles an hour and 50 miles an hour from about 24 inches away, so I read in the document, at the shoulder pads. Inside the shoulder pads, we should probably show a picture here. Inside the shoulder pads, they have these load cells. For those of you that are going to be engineering majors, here's your chance to learn a little engineering. Load cell is basically something that takes the force, the mechanical force, turns it into electrical signal, so now we can measure what is that actual force that's being applied to the shoulder pads, which ultimately is applied through the shoulder pads, because that's what we care about most, is what does the body experience. You can see on this diagram, here's where the load cells are located. You've got the big one around the heart, then you've got your upper load cell and your lower load cell, and then on this side of the body is where the projectile shoots. Also, just random cool tidbit, there is a recommendation on an air cannon, and here's a drawing of the air cannon. I think it's funny, in 2022, we've got like hand-drawn drawings of air cannons. I would love a cool three-dimensional, maybe graphic, something. That would be cool. Maybe a video of an air cannon. Sounds pretty cool. Maybe on my Christmas list next year. Now, after the product goes through the test, after the new chest protector shoulder pads goes through the test, you will find a new tag on your shoulder pads, and that tag will be the SEI certification. It should look just like this. If your shoulder pads do not have that SEI certification, you are not able to utilize those shoulder pads from 2022 and beyond. There's a bunch of companies out there that have invested a ton of money to make sure they come out with shoulder pads for you. All the brands that you know, they're still out there. They're still available. They've come up with some new designs. It's going to fit different. Just for all of you players that have been playing before, it is going to fit different, and it's going to feel different because there's a much more larger, bulky area ensuring that it protects your heart. So it's an important change. One thing I thought was interesting is the NFHS did post a bulletin back in December saying, look, we understand that there's some scarcity of goods. It's hard to find some products of some different things, but all the manufacturers knew this change was coming, so they are prepared and they are stocked up to make sure that they have the NOCSAE approved shoulder pads / chest protector for all field players. So you should be able to find them online. One of the big challenges is, and if you're looking for a way to give back to the lacrosse community, These are expensive, honestly. These are not cheap. These new shoulder pads are, what do I have here? For the youth, they start at about 40 bucks, and they ramp up to, goodness, $160. They're kind of all over the map. So now you're actually looking for a pretty decent investment into your actual shoulder pads. So if you're looking for a way to support the lacrosse community, maybe a shoulder pad donation. Or one of the other things that I will definitely recommend here, and we had one of these at my high school too, an AED machine, the automated defibrillator. I could call it an AED, defibrillator, automated external defibrillator, maybe? But an AED machine is a great product that actually saved Peter Lake's life down there at Loyola-Blakefield. AED machine can literally jumpstart your heart and bring it back. It's absolutely incredible. Again, link to the story down below. What a wild story. So if you're looking to donate to a lacrosse program near you, first and foremost, shoulder pads. Let's stop kids even having this experience. Let's hope these shoulder pads do exactly what we want them to do. And then secondly, AED machines. AED machines are a great product to have for your youth program, for your high school program. If they don't have it, another way you can give back to your program. So there you go. That's it for this week. Make sure you get yourself some new shoulder pads because these ones, well, they don't do anymore. Thanks for stopping by this week. As we say around here, don't forget the little things. Maybe some air horns, fireworks. Oh yeah, welcome to 2022, our very first video. Sorry that was awkward, but you know, it is what it is. That's how we do it around here.